My name is Heather Krebs, and I was born on the 31st of January, a day I don't recall. I often wonder why no one wants to be around me. I know I am probably a freak of nature. I live in a middle-class neighborhood, forced in this middle-class neighborhood, not loving this middle-class neighborhood. Sharonville, Ohio. It's so pretty in the summer. Sharonville, Ohio. We march to the same drummer, and you hear something different. Isn't that a bummer? Sharonville, Ohio, where everyone is free. Everyone in Sharonville, Ohio, except me. Aren't teenagers the worst?
Are you still with us? Heather,
Me, I believe so, yes ma'am.
and the answer to the question?
He tripled the national debt, radically dropped the income tax rate on corporations, sold missiles to Iran, ignored AIDS, and started the homeless crisis, and 138 members of his administration were either indicted, convicted, or both.
I'm sorry, what does that have to do with 17th century pagans?
Oh, sorry, I thought you asked who was Ronald Reagan. My name is Heather Krebs, and I get lost inside my head, and there is no way out, no matter what I do. I've been hiding, but something crazy always happens. No one gets me, and I don't think that I do either. I live in a family community, messed up in a family community. I don't see any opportunity. Sharonville, Ohio, everything is boring. Traffic lights and strip malls, heating, roof and flooring. No one understands me, a point I'm underscoring. Sharonville, Ohio, we're super chill. I gotta get out of this place, but I'm not sure what I need.
So, I hear that Matthew Spires likes you.
Matthew Spires likes himself.
Word is, he is going to ask you out.
Why would he ask me out? And why are you even talking to me?
Look, if Matthew Spires is into you, then you're going to need a best friend. I've experienced that department.
Paisley Henshaw was the most popular girl in school. I knew it would be social suicide to refuse her disingenuous offer to be my temporary best friend, so I played along.
Okay, here he comes. And don't leave. You're not supposed to find yourself. You're supposed to have sex and do drugs. This is our time to lose our head and blow our mind. Get lit until we're frickin' blind. We're so afraid. We have a cause, we break the rules, we make the laws, but our virginity on pause, that's all I'm saying. 'Cause we don't care who's playing
Withdraw your forces. Mother of mercy, lead me. I don't wanna be a girl in the spotlight. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be. Take back the lawyers. Take back the cops. Take back the judges. Any which way we can pull out the stops. Take back the temples. Take back the laws. Take back contentment. Can't you see we're just touching that shore? I don't wanna be one in a million. I don't wanna dance in high heel shoes. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be.
Do you believe that God, through you, is revealing himself to humankind?
Do you believe you possess the power to heal?
If God revealed his laws to Moses on Mount Sinai, where and when has he revealed these laws to you?
Do you believe in divine mercy and sanctification through faith?
But if the descending path glorifies the one, what does that mean to the many?
If you're not busy on Friday,
Do you believe in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Do you believe that you are Jesus Christ?
Do you believe you are the new Messiah?
it's my sister. She wants to know if you keep kosher.
Do you believe you are the messenger?
Not waving my flag, not beating my drum, I utter no prayer. Won't walk on hot coals, won't fly through the air. Oh no, I don't wanna be, I don't wanna pay, I don't wanna be, I don't wanna be.
Hi, I am Brittany Nicole Williams and I play Heather.
Brittany, where have we seen you before?
You may have seen me in Aladdin on Broadway. You may have seen me in the Prom Tour, the Prom National Tour, the National Tour of The Bronx Tale, the National Tour of Donna Summer, the musical. So, yeah.
Now, who do you play in this show? You're the lead, so
Yes. I play Heather, and she's a 17-year-old girl from Sharonville, Ohio. She lives in a community that everybody kind of conforms to the standard, and she's the odd one out. She's the different person, and so she's kind of trying to find herself. On top of everything else, she has a secret power that she doesn't know how to control and she doesn't really understand, and so you kind of follow this journey with her.
does she conform?
She doesn't conform. Heather's not a conformist at all.
Love to hear that.
Yes.
I like the nonconformists.
Me too.
What would you like people to take away from this show?
I would like people to take away that, like, at the end of the day, regardless of differences of views, political views, religious views, the end of it all, like, the biggest and most important lesson and thing that we should take with us is love. We need to just treat each other, with respect and with love and bring that out more into the world. We need more of it.
And what would you like our audiences to know about you?
I would like them to know that I'm excited for them to see it. I did the reading for this at the Signature Theater, and so I'm really excited for an entire new audience to actually see this show.
Hi, I'm Maya Lagerstam, and I play Kaisley.
Hi, my name is Carlos Alcala, and I play Matthew Spires, Creature, and Principal Stevens.
I love your voice.
Oh, thank you.
Where have we seen you before?
Most recently, I was in The Tempest at the Guthrie Theater. I also did Most Happy in Williamstown with Daniel Fish as the director, which was crazy. And I also was in Tattooed Lady, a new Max Vernon musical.
Oh, I love Max.
Yeah. Oh, I adore Max. Max is amazing. Congrats to their Tony nom. Like, that's so awesome. So yeah. And I did a movie, 1660 Vine. It was choreographed by Paula Abdul and directed by Patricia McGregor, which was so fun. Yeah.
Now, you play the best friend.
Yes, yes, I do.
Can you tell us, what about the best friend do you find the most exciting?
Well, I've been really lucky in this process. I'm not usually I don't always play the comedic relief. And so it's been a really fun time. Paul has kind of let me just take the reins. So I kind of say whatever I want and we see what works for the show. So it's just been really fun to have that freedom of playing around and just having so much fun. Yeah.
Your voice really stands out in this.
Oh, thank you.
Do you plan on pursuing a musical career as well as theater and film?
I haven't done much of that yet. I'm a little scared to be like writing songs and stuff. You know, it's a little frightening to put yourself
do you
out
write?
there like that. I've tried, but I do a lot of concerts and like we'll perform in. I do a lot of new works, especially, and so I'll perform in my friends' shows and everything. But yeah, so little concerts here and there for sure.
Thank you. And tell us about your role.
Sure. So, I play a variety of different characters in the show, but one of the bigger ones is a character named Creature, who's this neighborhood bully who ends up having a past with our leading man, Carson Stewart, and I'm a bit troubled. I don't go to the high school, but I find myself getting into altercations with some of the students at the school, just kind of a lost kid trying to find himself and his purpose in this small town. But I also play Matthew Spires, who's the high school jock, popular kid, and actually the principal of the high school as well. So I have a variety of different perspectives that I end up tackling throughout the course of the show to help tell the story. But I find Creature to be particularly interesting because I don't typically play the bad boy. So this has been a really cool experience kind of diving in and playing around with that a little bit.
So you're a schizophrenic in the show.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it feels like I'm all these tracks you follow throughout the course of the show because we are all working as a team to just really convey the story in the best way that we can. And I find the challenge really exciting and fresh, and Paul Gordon on the music and the script has just been an absolute blast. He's making the process so nice.
And what would you like our audiences to know about you?
I'm in the process of starting a studio production company with my best friend Tyler Crozier. We've been working on that for a little bit now, getting the team together. We just love to create. We love working on scripts, new projects, new concepts. That's one of the reasons, that was one of the big reasons that I was drawn to this project. I love working on new things, being able to share new perspectives and stories and provide a voice for those who haven't gotten the opportunity to yet. I feel like this is a great time in the theater and the artistic world to be able to provide a voice for some individuals who haven't had that opportunity. I feel like that's been really, really exciting for me.
Lauren Elder, I play Grace Krebs.
My name is Carson Stewart, and I play Zach.
Lauren, tell us your background before you got to this show.
Sure. I lived in New York City for about 20 years, auditioning for everything I could, and I got into the Central Park concert cast of Hair, the 40th anniversary of Hair. So I did it in Central Park. I got to do it on Broadway. I got to do it in London. And then I have worked on many other musicals in development, and I was able to do the revival of Sideshow on Broadway and at the Kennedy Center. And I'm so lucky. I've been able to make musical theater my career, and my favorite thing is developing new musicals. So to be a part of this brand new work is just thrilling.
What composers would you like to work with?
Ooh, Michael John LaChiusa. I'm so lucky. I've worked with so many composers that I love, with Paul Gordon and Bobby Cronin, but I think Michael John LaChiusa is one that I have not worked with that I'm such a fan of his work. I love him.
I would agree with that. Tell us a little bit about your character and who she is.
Sure. My character Grace, she is Heather's mom. And she's a single mom just trying to do her best and raise good kids in this world that I think moves a little faster than she does. She's a little overwhelmed and doesn't quite understand all of these amazing things that are happening with her daughter. It's all a little too big for her. So she's just kind of focusing on making dinner and making sure the kids are okay.
And what would you like our audiences to know about you?
I'm a teacher. I love teaching kids and people of all ages who are in love with musical theater. I teach voice and acting and performance, and that's one of my other passions besides performing. I also write my own music, and I have my own album out there. It's called Lauren Elder, and I'm also a world champion whistler.
Whoa! See, now there's a good reason why I asked that question. Zach,
Yes.
Carson.
tell us Carson.
Yes, my character is named Zach.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, absolutely. I graduated from college last year. This is my second show out of college, so
Wow.
my first show in New York, and I'm having an absolute blast.
What was your first show?
I just finished The Notebook in Chicago.
Yeah.
So
We reviewed that actually.
Oh, really?
You have a reviewer in Chicago.
That's amazing. It was a great experience, and it was a great first show out of school. So I had a blast.
And tell us a little bit about your character.
My character, Zach, like Heather, is kind of an outsider. He's misunderstood. He's gone through a lot in his life, and he sees Heather, and they kind of have a recognition that we're both outsiders, we're both loners, and he falls in love with Heather, and it's a very difficult process of opening up for him, but Heather is the person in this world that Paul's created that is able to bring that out of him, and so for him it's more a journey of vulnerability, I would say.
And tell us, what should our audiences know about you?
Oh, I'm a twin. That's a fun fact.
Wow.
One of 5 kids. I don't know. I play piano and guitar, and I'm just really, I love this cast so much. I think they'll see that, but they should know that as well, that everyone gets along so well, and we have a great time. So.
What's your favorite show?
My favorite show? Oh, my goodness. These are great questions. I don't know. I love Assassins. I've always wanted to be in Assassins. Next to Normal. Probably Next to Normal. I would say that. I would love to be Gabe.
Hi, I'm Donna Trinkoff. I'm the artistic producer of Amos Musical Theater.
Donna, what made you choose Heathers as your show?
Oh, well, Jim Kirsten came to me last year and said, I have this interesting show by Paul Gordon, and I have been a fan of Paul Gordon's for so long. And when I read it, the subject matter and the music is so much fun. But the subject matter, questions about what is spirituality and religion, told in such an interesting, quirky way, I was immediately smitten with it. So I'm very excited about the show.
What kind of shows do you look for to produce at Amos?
We look for shows that are going to kind of highlight the other. They tell stories about people who perhaps, don't fit in right or are not, going to be highlighted by or known by regular people, and also shows that lend themselves to multicultural casts, because we always use multicultural casts or multi-ethnic casts in our shows. So for instance, we did Hip Hop Cinderella earlier this year, and it was all about, a girl.
Which was brilliant.
Huh? Oh, thank you. About a girl who was being mistreated by her mother-in-law, and she had the agency to become a scientist and to find her inner voice by winning a rap battle and saving the universe. So it wasn't your usual your usual Cinderella story.
Now, you've had a lot of shows move and get bigger lives and more fulfilled. Name some of the shows that you've had move.
Well, last year we were so fortunate because Romeo and Bernadette moved off Broadway, which was started in the Amos Musical Theater Lab. And we had done a workshop last year of Americano, which was the story about an undocumented young man whose family had brought him from Mexico when he was 4 years old, and he wanted to join the Marines when he turned 18, and he found out that he wasn't an American citizen. It was based on a true story, and that show moved to New World Stages. So
What happened to Americano? That show was great.
thank you. Well, they're reworking it. I think they're making the story a little more
Concise.
concise to the family. And they brought in Sergio Trujillo to direct it.
Fabulous. I love Sergio.
I know.
Let me guess, that dance is going to go
we'll
off the
see
roof.
That one again coming down the pipes. And we do a lot of stuff at Amos, a lot of development. So we're working on a lot of new shows.
Are there some shows that we should look forward to?
Yes, we're working on a show that is going to be presented in the lab in July called Post Row Monologues, which is all based on true stories of women and men's experiences having to do with abortion. And we're also working on a show called Get Out Alive by this amazing artist named Nikki Lynette. and it's about depression.
Well,
My name is KATEY SAGAL. I play Agatha in the Gospel According to Heather.
now we didn't get to see you today, but can you tell us a little bit about Agatha?
I can tell you a very little bit about Agatha. She is who Heather confides in. She is somebody that doesn't necessarily speak to Heather, but she hears her.
You sing, and you have several albums out. Why? Is this your first musical?
No, actually my first musical was written by Paul Gordon. That's one of the reasons I'm here. When I was in my 20s, Paul wrote a great show when we were struggling artists, and we did it in a little non-equity theater, and it basically launched my career. From that musical, I was, my agents found me. Very soon I was at the Mark Taper doing a musical, and before I knew it, I was on television. So I'm not unfamiliar with the theater, but it's been a while.
What was the first show
that Paul wrote?
Yes.
It's called Backstreet, and I'm hoping, he wrote it with our great friend Jay Greska, and I'm hoping that they revise it.
And what show did you do at the Mark Taper?
I did The Beautiful Lady, which I know just closed. Is it here at La Mama, I believe?
Yes.
It was Elizabeth Suedos, and I played Marina Svetaeva. And from there, from this very dramatic role, I was spotted and asked to read for a comedy television series, which I got the job.
And became incredibly famous from it.
Eventually, yes.
What kind of shows would you like to take on?
Well, these kinds of shows. I wanted to, I've been, it's been talked about to me to come and do this kind of work in New York, but I wanted to do it with an original show. So this is original, and this is more contemporary music, which is really my jam. So this kind of show is what I would say.
Are there any composers that you would like to work with?
Paul Gordon.
And what would you like our audiences to know about you?
About
KATEY. What would you like our audiences to know about you?
What would I like you to know? Let's see. That my work is one part of my life. I have a rounded life, and I love my work, and I love what I do, and I'm just so grateful to be here and be continuing to work and doing new things and saying yes.
What else are you passionate about?
Well, I have 3 kids. I really like them. I have a husband. I really like him. What else am I passionate about? I'm passionate about just changing the world and trying to improve things for my young people. So I'm passionate about a lot of those things.
Thank
Jeremy Kushner, and I play Booker and Ray.
Can you please tell us your background?
Sure. I am originally from Canada. I moved out here in the late 90s to do a little show called Footloose, and then I've sort of been here ever since.
I loved you in Atomic.
Oh, thank you.
I thought that was amazing.
Thank you.
You have such a major rock voice. What kind of shows are the shows that you long to get your little teeth into?
I've always wanted to do Hedwig. I'm getting a little old in the tooth for Hedwig, but I like doing, one of the things that drew me to this show was Paul's music, so I like getting to do shows that people don't know yet, especially by great writers like Paul. So.
See, I would love to see you play George in Sunday in the Park.
Oh, I would, yes, you go and tell somebody that. I will definitely do that.
I don't think they'd ever think of you in that, but I do, actually.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your character and what you're bringing to it.
Well, it's actually 2 characters, but the Heather's nemesis, Booker, is a podcast journalist, probably in big quotations. He really likes to, like a lot of some of our more right-wing journalists, like to sort of create a lot of their own facts and live in a bit of a dream world, and that's him. And when he finally discovers Heather, he sort of finds his muse as far as the road that he's going to go down to really try to destroy her. without spoiling too much, he doesn't. She wins, but
Good always saves the day.
Exactly. But it's a lot of fun. It's great to sort of poke fun at that type of made up journalism, and it's always fun to play the bad guy. So I get to do it a lot when you look like an old white guy like me.
Only recently, may I state.
It's probably well deserved at this point.
No.
Maybe not personally well deserved, but you know.
No, I'm sorry. What would you like our audiences to know about you?
About me?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I'm just really excited to be working in the city and working with this tremendous cast. I'm excited for them to come and hear this music and to see our fantastic cast. BRITTANY, who's heading it up, is a super talent. She's destined to be a star, and she's killing it in this show. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you also have this girl named Maya that's got one killer voice.
Great voices across the board.
Yeah, really wonderful.
Hi, I'm Paul Gordon. I'm the composer, book writer, and lyricist of The Gospel According to Heather.
Paul, what else have you written? I know you did Backstreet. I heard about that.
Yes, Backstreet was the... I'm so sorry. Should I look at you or look at
the camera?
Okay. I'll make it easy for you. All right, I'll keep looking at the camera. Backstreet was one of the first musicals that I wrote with my writing partner, Jay Gruska, that KATEY, SAGAL, and I did way back in the late 80s.
What else have you done?
With KATEY or just on my own?
On your own.
Oh, well, I've written Jane Eyre for Broadway. I've written Daddy Longlegs for Off-Broadway.
Love
I've written Jane Austen's Emma and Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice that have played throughout the country. Those are some of my shows.
What do you look for when writing a musical?
The first thing I look for in writing a musical is how am I going to build the foundation of that musical, meaning what is the story? The story is the absolute pillar of whatever you're going to do musically. A lot of people have fun ideas like I want to take this movie or that movie, but what is the reason that you're taking a subject matter and making it a musical? You have to ask yourself, do the characters sing? Is there a reason for this to be a musical other than, hey, I liked the movie, or I've always enjoyed this story? I feel like there has to be a certain level of passion in order to start a musical.
In most of the shows that I've seen of yours, especially Daddy Longlegs, it's romantic, it's sweeping, it's melodic. Who inspired you to write?
Musically, I'm inspired by a lot of people. My more classical pieces, I'm very inspired clearly by Stephen Sondheim, Adam Guettel, Jason Robert Brown, but also John Williams. I listen to a lot of John Williams' film score because I feel that harmonically he is one of our most gifted composers in the last 100 years. So I'm often, just when I'm listening to music, listening to his film scores, not necessarily the famous ones, and that gives me a lot of musical inspiration.
And what do you look for in writing a show?
For me personally, I look to uplift the audience. There's so much sadness in the world, and for me personally, when I'm looking for entertainment in whatever medium, I don't shy away from the serious pieces, but I gravitate to pieces where potentially I can learn something, but maybe it's said with humor. So I believe in the messages of a lot of my shows, but I like the vehicle to be through humor, romance, love. I love telling those stories. And I basically want to make people feel good, either about their own lives or a little reprise from their own lives for 2 hours. I feel like that's what art can do.
Thank you.